I've been asked many times to do a video tour of my shop. This is an overview of the air-conditioned clean area, which is well lit and where most of the precision work is done. There are three main sections to my shop: clean space, main woodworking area, and my office. I'm very lucky to have this vast space all to myself. My beloved Myford, we've been friends for more than 40 years, and below that one of the material stores. The grinding sharpening area, firstly a homemade copy of an acute tool grinder, the Tormac for woodworking tools, a wet grinder, my corn tool and cutter grinder, a project some 40 years ago, and a recently purchased and refurbished D-bit grinder. Drawers under counter for various tools and screws, fasteners and storage, collection of tip tools, a pull-out tray in a handy spot when working on the lathe. More screws. This carousel made from conduit is very useful storage of small tools. This is the general work area for electronics and other small projects. A vastly modified belt and disc sander with magnetically secured diamond discs, honing wheel and variable speed, influenced by my new hero Stefan from YouTube. A hugely successful project. One can quickly change discs from 3000 to 250 grit in seconds. The modified jigsaw shares the variable speed drive. General stores overhead, so much stuff collected over the years, I can never throw anything away, it seems. These full aperture drawers are magic, with a granite top, a real indulgence. Easily accessible small tools with a Dremel, and so on. Material storage, aluminium bits, and various plastic sheets with cuts. Taps and dies and reamers. Measuring stuff. Marking out tools near the lathe and mill. Drills and deburring tools accessible from the center of the shop. The next workstation is the Optimum milling machine, which I've had for about 8 years. Rather lightweight, but with a solid stand and being bolted to the wall, it works for me. I've enjoyed working on it hugely. These drawers with all the stuff you need right near the action is such a luxury. Collets, parallels, V-blocks, and so on. Milling cutters, hold downs, T-bolts, note the OCD cataloguing. A collection of boring heads and facing molds. I added a DRO, auto cross travel, to make life complete. More recently, a vertical motorized lift using an old cordless drill and DC power supply, a very successful modification. So, onto the main workshop area, where all the dusty work is done. The welding, grinding, cutting workstation, with some steel storage above. The welding table has a solid 15mm steel worktop. nice and solid. We have oxyacetylene, TIG welder with argon gas, butane gas, and of course stick welding equipment. The jet drum thicknesser, MCO planer thicknesser, and Makito router table, and round the corner a jet bobbin sander. All the sanding equipment share a common overhead vacuum system piped from the next room. And in the distance there's a crane over the welding area. Another disc sander, plus a solid circular saw that gets a lot of work. There's a remote to start the vacuum. By simply opening the adjacent vacuum gate, you're good to go. Electrobeacon bandsaw, chop saw, material storage, abrasive cutoff, and 4 grinding wheels to choose from by rotating the stand. Guillotine and a very useful 5-ton press. This workstation with all the paint and stuff is a bit messy. I'll do a bit of electroplating here as well. This old drill mill I converted to CNC, which has since made space for a new project. The next workstation is the woodworking bench. There are more than 200 clamps. All the hand tools are plugged in for quick usage from behind. Work in progress at this time was the conversion of my old wood lathe to CNC. This has subsequently been completed, and there is a YouTube video of the build, which I've recently finished as well. The latest toy to arrive is this brand new 1-meter Chinese lathe. I stripped and cleaned up the saddle, fitted a DRO, made raising blocks, added a multi-fix tool post. Now after 3 months, she's ready to rock. I enjoyed the journey. Started refurbishing this XE surface grinder, which is the latest project. This used to be the family room, but when the family left the nest, I claimed it for my office when I retired some 10 years ago. There have been numerous activities here over time, from trying to learn to play the violin, meals with friends, with COVID rules in place, photography, building machines of one kind or another. This 3D router is one of those. This workstation is where I run my CNC router and laser engraver. Also 3D printer and document scanning. My smart PC workstation is where I spend a lot of time, with the luxury of having 3 4K screens and a high-speed internet. The right-hand screen is where I watch YouTube videos, WhatsApp, email and music streaming. My YouTube heroes like Stefan, Tony, Tom, Chris and so many others, from whom I have learned so much. The center screen is mainly used for CAD/CAM and other automation programs. So cool to just zoot over and run the current job on one of the CNC machines without even leaving my chair. The back room is where my rare and other woods are stored. There is a homemade drum thicknesser, with precision disc sander which I used for my box making period. A bandsaw for steel, more junk storage, and a really old hacksaw which still works just fine. Thanks for watching. Please visit my website and YouTube channel. The links are below.